In September 2012, Matt Cutts, who is the head of the Webspam team at Google, released an announcement saying that Google were implementing an algorithm update sort of to go out in early October, change how it ranks websites. You then get all of these articles that seem to come out of the woodwork, either online US search results. So basically, 0.6% of those results would be affected by this algorithm update. And one of the main areas that would be affected by this update would be websites that have what are called exact match domain names. So it's referred to as the Google EMD update. So an exact match domain name refers to a domain that is purely made up of a keyword phrase that doesn't really have any kind of brand reference. So an example could be like cheaphotelscheltenham.co.uk. So it's quite common to see companies or individuals set up an exact match domain name and to plonk either a page or a few pages onto that domain name as a means of ranking well in the search engines. And for a time that did work quite well in Google. Like if you had a keyword friendly domain name, then that actually did help your ranking for a time. But Google did mention back in 2011 that that was one of the contributing factors, but might not always be the case in the future. So the issue here is that many people were complaining that too many exact match domains, i.e. domains basically made up of a keyword, were ranking highly in Google above websites that had gone to the time and effort to build their brand, to put genuine, relevant, high quality content on their website. And this was sort of the case for a time. So the update is aimed at basically targeting websites that may have a keyword friendly domain name but have poor quality on their websites. So if a domain name is purely made up of keywords and the content on there is of a poor quality and doesn't appear to be genuine, then they are at risk of being penalised by this Google update. So it would seem that with this update that Google are attempting to flush out a lot of low quality websites where they've basically just been put up with a keyword friendly domain name as a means of ranking well. So it's bad news for websites that have been put up with that kind of intent that are of a low quality. But it's good news for real genuine websites where the website owners have put the time and invested in the quality of the content that is on there. It's also good for those websites where their domain name is made up of a brand that isn't just purely a keyword. If there are going to be 0.6% of search results that are impacted by this update, they're obviously going to decrease in rankings, which will then give more scope for the ones that invest in their copy and have a brand reference within their keyword, in their domain name. So just to stipulate, the update did mention that it was targeting exact match domains that had poor quality content. So there have been some instances where supposedly good quality websites with exact match domains have been penalised. But provided your website is genuine in its purpose, that it's of a high quality, that you've not got duplicate content or content that's sort of been thrown up there for the sake of good ranking, provided content is a high priority on that website, the chances of your website being penalised should be quite minimal. But I would recommend just having a good fresh look through your website, make sure there's nothing which you think search engines might flag up or that you could be penalised for. If you have a look at the blog article that we've put on the website talking about this Google EMD update, I've just put a bit more depth and suggestions as to what you can do to sort of avoid this risk, or areas of your website that you could tweak or revisit to improve upon the quality. So have a look at that, where I've covered all of this in a bit more depth.